iLEAP Club members. Today, I am going to be talking about email etiquette. Email is a form of communication that most of us are familiar with. Each time you click send, the email being delivered says a lot about you. It is important that whether for business or personal use, that you follow the basics of email etiquette. Are we practicing appropriate email etiquette, or are your emails conveying messages that are hurting your reputation and credibility? So, what is email etiquette? Email etiquette refers to the acceptable and appropriate behaviors that one should use when writing or answering email messages. Here, I will talk about 7 tips that can help us improve email etiquette. Tip number 1. Include an appropriate subject line. When writing an email, please always make sure you include an appropriate subject. Subject is a short and to-the-point description which accurately reflects the subject of the email that you are writing. Subject lines such as hello do not serve any function. Tip number 2. Use your manners. Email is less personal than a phone or in-person conversation, so it is possible for serious breaches of manners to take place. Say please and thank you in the appropriate places throughout your email. Otherwise, you will be seen as disrespectful or rude. Tip number 3. Address your recipient appropriately. Address your contact with the appropriate level of formality and make sure you spelled their name correctly. Be sure to use formal titles such as Mr., Mrs., Miss, or Doctor, unless the recipient has asked you to use his or her first name. If you are unsure whether a female recipient is married or not, use Miss. Tip number 4. Be aware of your tone and case. You want to sound friendly and approachable in emails. Read your email out loud to ensure that the tone is that which you desire. Try to avoid relying on formatting for emphasis, rather choose the words that reflect your meaning instead. Make sure that your tone does not sound disrespectful, aggressive, or demanding. Remove emotions from your email correspondences. Never use email to convey anger or annoyance. Do not type in all capital letters, as it appears as though you are shouting. Using all lowercase letters is also inappropriate. Tip number 5. Avoid emoticons, abbreviations, and fancy formatting. Avoid emoticons, abbreviations, and fancy formatting. Emoticons such as smiley faces do not convey professionalism in an email. Abbreviations that are now common, such as LOL, TTYL, U instead of YOU, are also some ways to seem unprofessional and may not be understood by everyone. Fancy fonts, formats, and layouts can be distracting, so it is best to stick to plain text when composing a professional email. Do not send or forward jokes, chain letters, or anything like that. Tip number 6. Reply quickly. When someone sends you an email that requires a response, be sure to reply within 24 hours. If possible, reply as soon as you receive their email. If it will require longer than 24 hours for you to appropriately respond to the email, at least send a reply to the person acknowledging their email and stating that you are working on acquiring necessary information to respond properly. Tip number 7. Do not attach large or unnecessary files. Only send attachments that are relevant. Sending a lot of unnecessary or large attachments can slow the recipient's computer system. If you have a large file that needs to be sent, it may be better to save it on a disk and deliver it. In conclusion, it is important that whether for business or personal use, that you follow the basics of email etiquette. Mastering your email skills can go a long way toward forging the most professional image you can with anyone you communicate with via email. I hope these skills will help you improve your email etiquette skills. Good luck, iLEAP Club members!